Hey, thank you for clicking on my video. I have a great show planned for your day here. I'm going to be talking about overconsumption here on the Vibes by Clyde. To preview the vibes, I have two segments. First, funny vibes, where I'm going to talk about buying too much on Amazon. Also, I have boss up vibes, where I'm going to talk about how your environment is irrelevant. All right, so first, let's get on to funny vibes, where we're going to talk about how people are buying too many clothes. Now, hey, I don't know about you, but if you have, I have a lot of clothes, all right, and it's hard not to buy extra clothes when you already have clothes, you know. But you should probably just try and see if you can, if possible at all, if at all possible, donate those clothes. Okay,
Not
please
that
don't just
not
be
that
out here buying too many clothes.
much. I mean,
Wasting
I
space
just
in
like
your
nice
closet.
clothes, and I
Wasting time
not
out here buying clothes when you already have six pairs of shoes.
not
You only got 2 feet. All right. So we're gonna watch this video of a woman who is apparently buying too many things. It says, "Me after buying a bunch of clothes that I can't afford, knowing damn well I'm a quarter away from being homeless." Now that is egregious. Okay, I hope that you are not that close to being homeless that you need to buy clothes. I mean, I hope you're not that desperate about buying clothes, where that you're making yourself homeless to do so. All right, so let's see what she has to say about buying too many clothes.
that much. I mean, I just like nice clothes, and I can wear everything, so I look beautiful anyway.
All right, so hey, if you're that close to being homeless, though, you should probably not buy clothes. All right, I mean, hey, you don't want to be broke and not have money. I mean, you don't want to be homeless and looking nice. That's just confusing for everybody. Like, okay, so you got some nice Versace clothes on, but you're homeless. Like nobody's not going to give you money. I'm not giving you no money. If I see a homeless person out here with better clothes than me, best believe I'm not giving them money. I'm gonna be like, you know what? He's clearly in a better financial situation than me. So I'm gonna let this guy. I want to give him a pass. All right, give this guy a pass. You can also wash your clothes. That's an idea. How about you wash your clothes that you have? But sometimes washing your clothes can make them, really dingy. I mean, not really dingy, really faded and things like that. Even if you get the good dishwashing, I said dishwashing. Even if you get the good detergent. So yeah, you really. I hope that you're not trying to, buy clothes over necessities. Just make sure you get your priorities straight. You need to be, instead of paying for new clothes, maybe you should make sure you pay the rest of your rent so you're not poor. So you're not homeless. I don't know. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is old things. Hey, again, with clothes, if you are buying too many things and you still have other things, maybe you need to throw those things away. All right. Or if you're buying new things when you already have new things, just use the old things. Just use them. Um, that's where you get that's where you get hoarders from. Hoarders, the people out here who, just keep buying stuff and have like a, what is it called? They have like a basement or a, what is it called? A garage. I couldn't think of the word. A garage full of just like old things that they never use, never will use. It's just kind of collecting dust. you know. I hope that that's not you. If it is you, I'm sorry for making fun of you. Also, but also you need some help. Okay, there are places for people like that, like TV shows. I've seen a lot of TV shows where they have hoarders. But also it's like a sentimental value type thing where you need to, just you feel like you lost a part of yourself when you have a closet like this or a garage like this in this picture here. It's a man with a pretty messed up closet and it's looking bad. All right, so hey, this guy says every time I am at my parents' house. Okay, so I mean, hey, parents need help too. Help your parents if they out here, hoarding, with a closet that's looking like this. Help them out. What I would do is I would just throw one little thing away at a time. They might not notice. It's like, no, don't do that. They'll probably go mad. People who are hoarders go mad when you throw their stuff away. I think they need to do that in their own terms. Okay. Unless it's impeding on your personal space, I would leave hoarders property alone. Okay, don't take that advice. About just taking one little thing at a time. If it's your stuff, maybe you should take one little thing at a time and throw it away. Instead of doing everything at once. But me, I like to just have like space, So I'm always throwing stuff away. I'm always like, "What is this? I don't need this. In the trash you go. Get out of my face." All right. So let's watch this video, um, and see what this guy's experience is.
Look at all that shit. You really need all that shit?
Yeah, most likely you don't. Okay, you probably don't need all that stuff. All right, so you should probably get rid of it. Okay, that'd probably be a good idea. Get rid of that stuff. Give yourself more space. That's also how you get infestations. Okay, I don't want you to have infestations in your house. So this is a good way to avoid those. Don't ignore the infestations. You're just gonna get more. Yeah, so just throw stuff away. Because hoarding is another part of overconsumption. Yeah, when you're just buying too many things and you're not throwing old stuff away, or you're not using the old stuff, or it doesn't have any value anymore, and it's just kind of sitting there in the way, just wasting time and space in your mind too, because that can also waste space in your mind. You're always thinking about, oh man, I gotta clean out that closet, you know. Oh man, my cousin's coming over. I gotta clean out that closet, or I gotta clean out that garage. I know my cousin's gonna want to stay in the garage for a
Welcome to
week.
Break a Rib.
Now I gotta
Welcome,
clean all that stuff out. And really that just
welcome to
means
Break
putting
a
it all in
Rib.
one place so people don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. Just throwing it all in a closet perhaps, and just keeping it in there until that person leaves. And now you're like, yes, now I can take this stuff out the closet and put it back to that closet. Put it back in the garage where I like it at. It's like, no. All right, so this next video, we're going to talk about buying too much food. Now, me, I try not to buy too much food when I'm hungry, but it's hard, because my mom used to say, your eyes is bigger than your stomach, because I would always be one of those kids who wanted everything on the menu. My mom was like, hey, do you want one or two chickens? I'm like, I want four. She's like, that's not an option. Do you want one or two chickens? I'm like, four. She's like, okay. I'm pretty sure she probably just gave in because she already knew I was going to eat all of it most of the time. Most of the time. Sometimes I'll be like, look, you're right, mom. My eyes was bigger than my stomach and I can't eat it though. I can't. I tried. But also I eat really fast. So, I think since I eat so fast, it kind of like slows down. I think since I eat so fast that everything gets to my stomach at once. So when I'm eating with a lot of people, I eat really fast. And then I can eat like double what people eat because by the time I'm on my second plate, they're still on their first plate. But by the time I'm done my second plate, I'm finally getting full. The food finally made it to the stomach, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I just keep getting full and full and full while I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh man, I probably shouldn't have ate all that, you know? All right. So here's an example of a guy says, when you order a lot of food for yourself. All right. Now we're going to see what this says, what he says about this situation. Let me make sure it's unmuted, Let me try to not make any rookie mistakes on this video. All right, let's hear it.
Rib, what would you like? All right, so let me get 3 number ones and then 2 number twos.
Dang, you
Just like
hungry?
those-
I gotta see if we have that much inventory in the back.
Yeah, I'm having a big get together.
Nah, you lying. We know you finna eat all that.
He's right. I'm gonna eat all this. I'm not having to get together. It's just me getting together. Yeah, you go check. Man, we got this dirty customer out there. Look at him.
Man,
He's trying to order half.
is he in the back talking about me?
All right, that was just everywhere. I don't know where that story was going, but apparently this guy has apparently that's somebody who just going too much in, too far in when it comes to food. Also, I do that with groceries a lot. People say never go grocery shopping when you're hungry because you will buy stuff at the grocery store that you really do not need. Stuff that's not really gonna, provide sustenance to your body. It's just gonna give you empty calories. You go in there, you trying to buy some, dinner foods and breakfast foods, but you're just thinking about all of the snacks. Oh my God, that chocolate cake looks so good, and then you got 3 chocolate cakes. You got some chips, some, maybe some ice cream and stuff, and maybe 2 actual dinner items. And dinner comes around and you're like, well, I can't eat chocolate for dinner. I'm hungry for some real food. But guess what? You don't have any real food because you spent it all on snacks. Okay. I used to do that a lot. My mom used to spend tons of money on snacks all the time. You know, it was crazy. We would be like, oh yeah, it's time to go food shopping, snack shopping, because we all going hungry. We all go to the shop hungry. But yeah, you probably won't eat everything. Hey, if it's you, you might not eat everything. But most of the time, I will eat everything. Okay. Also, I don't even like going to restaurants with people because when I go to restaurants with people, I'm just thinking about like how fast I'm eating sometimes. You know, if I'm not paying attention on how fast I'm eating, I'm going to eat too fast. And then everybody's going to be still eating and I'm going to be done. Okay. So this is why I don't like eating out with people because I will finish my whole plate and I'll be sitting there like, okay, when are we going to leave? You know? You know, imagine me taking a girl on a date, you know. I take her on a date and I'm already finished my food and she's kind of still eating slow and I'm like, okay, can we finish? Are you done? We can do other stuff. Like there's, you know, I'm trying to do other stuff. And I can't just go off and eat for like a date. I need to go out and do something else and eat for a date. You know, it can't just be eating because I'm going to do that too fast. It's going to be over too soon. And I'm going to be like looking at you like, can you hurry up? Also, I don't really talk when I'm eating. When I'm eating, it's just food, you know. When I'm thinking about food, it's just food. It's not like, hey, let's eat and talk. No, it's like let's eat first and then I'll talk. Okay. So while she's trying to get to know me, I'm like, I'm all in my plate. You know, while she's trying to get to know me. So what about you know? But then after I'm done eating, then I can talk. I'm like, okay, yeah, look, now I'm done. Now what do we, all right, wait, what's your name again? So yeah, I'm probably not the best person to go on a date with just because I'm kind of like that most of the time. Yeah, but everything looks good when you're hungry though. That's for sure. Um, Also, I think another situation is another problem with overconsumption is Amazon orders. Okay, Amazon orders can be the death of your paycheck. Okay, it can be like just put a nail in your paycheck coffin. Okay, because it's gone. It's dead on arrival. You know, especially when you've been thinking about everything you want all week. You've been adding your card up all week. You've been just adding stuff to your cart, add to the cart, add to the cart, add to the cart, add to the cart. You know, and then as soon as you get that paycheck, you only got to press one button. They got the what is it called? They have the one button, one click buy. You know, you do the one click buy and it's over. It's over for your paycheck. You know,
Sometimes I order
just
so
in
many
one
things from
second with
Amazon
press of the button, all you gotta do is
that when they arrive,
you know buy everything in your cart, and now that's $300 gone, just
sometimes
like
I
that.
order so many
Actually,
things
Amazon,
from
I don't like what
Amazon
Amazon
that
does
when they
sometimes.
sometimes I order
Sometimes
so
Amazon
many
takes
things
like a
from
day or
Amazon.
so
Sometimes I
to add the payment. So you know you buy something off Amazon. Let's say you buy something off Amazon, and you know you go through 2 days waiting for it to come by, and you know you look at your paycheck, you look at your account, and you see that you still got like $600 left. You're like, oh, okay, I'm fine. But then let let 24 hours go by. Okay, you think you got $600, but you spent $400. You're like, wait, how do I still have 600? And then you kind of forget about it. Kind of leaves your mind, and you're spending money. You're spending money. Let's say you spend like $100, and then the money comes out. You know, now you only got $100 in your bank account. You're like, wait, what happened? You know. So yeah, Amazon does that though. They like to, you know, I think it's because they, you know, because if you do a refund, they don't have to refund you the money because they technically didn't give you the money yet anyway. But that's gotten me a few times, you know, where I forgot I bought something, and then they take it out of my account, and I'm like, yeah, why did y'all take so long? Why did y'all take it when I bought it? You know, why y'all waiting on taking my money out? But yeah, I think that's just a way for them to, you know, protect themselves and also you if you accidentally buy something or your kids buy something. You know, we all seen those stories. Toddler buys 600 candy bars, spends $250 on his mom's debit card. You know. All right. Anyway, let's see what this guy says about buying orders. It says sometimes I order so many things on Amazon. All right. Let's see.
order so many things from Amazon that when they arrive, I completely forgot what I ordered. It's like throwing myself a surprise birthday party. I open each one like, ooh, what could it be? A fuzzy pop socket? I shouldn't have. A dinosaur onesie? What am I, the best? 20 pounds of mac and cheese? Thanks, me from 2 days ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot when you buy a lot of things on Amazon. You kind of just get things in the mail and you're like, wait, what is this? When did I buy this? Um, Another thing is I used to do this a lot. It's an app called like Wish or something. And they have a lot of apps like this, you know, just basically really cheap items that you can buy online. But when you buy them online, it takes forever to come. So, you know, let's say you buy something off this app and it says it's $4, but if you bought it on Amazon or at a store, it'll cost you like $20, 25, maybe $30. So you buy it for $4 and then you forget you bought it. And then like a month and a half later, now it comes to your doorstep and you're like, when did I buy this? Remember when you bought that thing for $4? That's where it is. It just took a month and a half to get here. That's why it was so cheap, because it's going to take so long to get there, you know. But I do like the idea of forgetting what you bought and it seeming like a, you know, a Christmas, like, oh, I wonder if this is the socks that I bought. I don't know why you'd be upset. I don't know why you'd be, you know, excited about socks. But hey, you know, maybe you are. But you're like, wait, is this the socks that I bought, or is this the phone case that I bought, or is this the lamp that I bought? You know, it's just so many things that it can be sometimes, and you're just like, it's kind of like a, what's the word, a dopamine hit when you buy something and you kind of forget about it. But yeah, yeah, they need to stop that one click buy. You probably need to you know, deactivate that one click buy, because it's going to definitely take a lot of your money. Those one click buy things, it's going to really like just drain your bank account, especially when you get that paycheck hit. Like you watch it, you see your paycheck come in, but click one click buy, and now you got it. And tomorrow is probably on your doorstep, and it's like magic. It's really like magic, really it is. We are really blessed to live in a, you know, a country where we can just buy things offline, you know, something completely random, maybe something that you don't need, something that's completely useless, you know, and you buy it and now it's at your doorstep tomorrow, you know. Those things are crazy. All right. So now we're going to get into boss up vibes. All right, boss up vibes. Like I said, um, it's about pretty much bossing up. I want to get you to boss up, okay? Also, I'm trying to boss up, all right? I mean, hey, this is this is me live trying to boss up, all right? So, hey, I don't know if I'm gonna boss up. I don't know if it's gonna work. Hey, but if this don't work, something's bound to work. All right, we're gonna figure this out because I got to boss up too. All right, so I'm in the same boat, man. All right, so boss up. The title is "Your Environment is Irrelevant." Now, one of my favorite quotes is from my favorite rapper, which is Ti. My favorite rapper is Ti. I know most of his songs. I would say most of his songs. I don't know all of them. But yeah, yeah, he's kind of my generation. He came up. He was really big in the 2000s, but he made a few albums, you know, fairly recently, maybe like the last 5 years or so. And one of my favorite quotes from him is he says, "Impossible is nothing. Your environment's irrelevant. Just don't let your emotions overpower your intelligence." Now that's in one of his songs that he sings. Um, and that's so true, you know? Like, hey, impossible is nothing. Like, nothing is impossible. You can do anything out here, you know? It's up to you, you know? And then he says, well, in America, I don't know about other countries, you know? But anyway, you know, impossible is nothing. Nothing's impossible, especially if you live in America. And then he says, your environment is irrelevant. And I believe that because, hey, it don't matter where you came from, it's where you are, it's where you're trying to go, you know? Your environment's irrelevant. No matter where you came from, um, you know, you always
You're
get up
not
out of
def-
it, you
you're
know.
not def-
It's always a way out. So that's another thing. And then he says, just don't let your emotions overpower your intelligence. And that just pretty much means, hey, don't let your emotions, you know, dictate what you do, you know, because emotions are temporary, you know. Emotions are very temporary. It's just how you feel at that time. So don't let your emotions overpower your intelligence. Your intelligence is, you know, what you know, facts, what you know to be real, you know. So don't let that overpower what you know already, you know. You know, don't let these temporary emotions overpower what you know, and cause you to make bad decisions. Because you can make some really bad decisions that really mess up your entire life, you know. So, you know, don't let temporary emotions mess up what's, you know, really real in life. You know, don't let one bad person, one person that makes you mad, crash out and now you in jail for 25 years, you know. So yeah, you know for a fact you don't need to do this, you know. So don't let that temporary emotion, you know, cause long-term consequences. And yeah, and that's why it's my favorite quote, because everything in that is real. That's 100% true. All right, so we're gonna hear this guy. He's gonna talk about. He's gonna. The first line says, "You're not defined." So I'm assuming he's gonna say you're not defined by uh your environment. All right, so let's see what he has to say.
defined by that environment. Don't allow that environment to define who you can be, what you can achieve, what you can dream about. That's number one. Don't allow the environment to limit you. Number two, learn from the environment. Learn as I did, what I don't want to involve myself in, what I don't want to go, what path I don't want to go down, right? Number three, also, I had to recognize that the people in my environment didn't put themselves in that condition because they wanted to be like.
Yeah, so yeah, he said pretty much yeah, watch who you are around. I think that's very important also because I think your people kind of make you, you know, whoever you're around, that's gonna kind of gonna be how you kind of move, how you kind of act, you know. If you're around bad hair, you know, bad seeds all day, you're probably gonna become a bad seed, you know. So you gotta watch who you're around. Make sure you put good people around you, or nobody around you. Hey, I'd rather you around nobody than people that aren't gonna be good for you, because people that are bad for you are worse than you being by yourself, you know. And hey, I'm not saying you should seclude yourself, or isolate yourself. But if you notice that people aren't treating you correctly, or you don't like how they're talking to you or acting towards you, you really want to just distance yourself from those people. Okay. All right. Anyway, I didn't mean to cut them off. Anyway, let's finish up.
And so I would just say, don't allow yourself to be totally defined by the environment, and make sure that you dream outside the box, but look and see and have compassion for the environment, for the people. Nobody chose that lifestyle. Nobody just wants that. But also there's good there too.
Yeah, so I like what he said also, like, hey, have compassion for the environment, also don't box yourself in. Um, you really want to, even though you came from a bad place, you don't have to make that your whole personality. You don't have to bring that everywhere you go, You need to know how to adapt, to different environments. You know, you got to learn how to, you know, adapt, just kind of, you know, not always focus on where you came from, or even focus on who you are. Like I wouldn't don't overemphasize that you're black, don't overemphasize that you're a woman, that you're a Latina, that you're a man. You really want to just be you, because at the end of the day, we all the same anyway. We are pretty much all the same. So you really don't want to really, put yourself into a box. Hey, this is where I'm from. This is who I am. This is, I'm a person. I'm a black person. I'm a man. I'm skinny. You don't want to box yourself into, those types of definitions, because you're really going to limit yourself in the long run. Well, let's read. I want to listen to this one more time so I can see what he said the first two times, because I kind of cut him off in the middle. All right, let's go.
You're not defined by that environment. Don't allow that environment to define who you can be, what you can achieve, what you can dream about. That's number one. Don't allow the environment to limit you. Number two, learn from the environment. Learn as I did, what I don't want to involve myself in, what I don't want to go, what path I don't want to go down, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I like what he said about you know uh learning from your environment. You really want to learn from other people. That's how I, that's how I move. I try to learn from as many people as possible. Hey, if you're gonna make a mistake, I want to see how you made that mistake and how I can avoid that mistake. Okay, like I try to learn from other people as much as I can. And also, hey, if your environment isn't serving you, you need to get up out of that environment. I don't know how people, well, I don't know why people want to stay in environments that aren't serving them. I understand that it's financial sometimes. Like you can't just, it's hard to move. It's hard to just get up and move your life to another city, another state, another country. Um, but if it's not serving you, you got to figure out a way to get out. You know, find a way to get out of that environment, because it's not going to help. Help you in the long run if you're not comfortable there. So yeah, get out if it don't serve you, and make sure you don't brush yourself in, and you go where the opportunities are. Make sure you're not, you know, if you're in a place and it doesn't have a lot of opportunities for you, get out of there. You got to leave. Like I'm from Philly, and I knew from a young age that this is not where the opportunities are. Like the part of Philly that I'm from, it was not a good part of Philly, and it definitely didn't have a lot of opportunities. I already knew I did not want to be there. you know, I was like, I need to get up out of here as soon as possible. And luckily, that I got that out. When I saw that opportunity, I took it. And that's what you need to do if you can. Just try to get out of that. Try to get out of that place. And like you said, you can love the people in the environment. You don't have to love the place. So if you came from a place that that didn't have opportunities, that didn't serve you correctly, that didn't set you up for life, it's okay to distance yourself from there. It's okay. You know, you don't have to, you know, you don't have to, be this crusader. You don't have to be this person who, always talk about where you're from, Um, so yeah, I mean, so yeah, anyway, um, I do love the Eagles though. Hey, I'm from Philly and I do love the people. I keep telling people, I'm like, hey, I love the people and I love the place. I mean, I love the people and I love, um, what I learned from there, but I don't want to go back. All right. Anyway, that was, well, that is the Vibes by Clyde. All right. So please like and subscribe if you like the Vibes by Clyde. There we go.